Hey guys, welcome back. If you've been thinking about growing a tea garden, then this is definitely the video for you. Today we're going to be walking through my very own tea garden, show you what's growing and also how things have progressed since I started them from seed back in February. So stick around because we have a ton of exciting things to share in the garden. And at the end of the video, I have a special series that I'll be launching in my shorts you definitely don't want to miss. But before we get started, if you're new here, hi guys, my name is Marsha the Blackthumbgardener and I live in Ontario, Canada, Zone 5B, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'd love for you to subscribe, and if you're returning, welcome back, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. Now let's get started. So last year I started my tea garden in only 2 containers, and this year I've expanded my tea garden. And if you're interested in learning about tea gardening, then I highly recommend picking up this book called Tea Gardening for Beginners. It gave me an overview of the world of tea gardening and what you can pair together or use to brew tea. It's a great introduction and I definitely recommend it if you're interested in learning about how to brew your own blends. Now, I bought a lot of my plants at the garden center last year as transplants just because it was really late by the time I decided to get started. This year, however, I actually started majority, at least 95% of my tea garden from seed. And if you're interested in looking at how I started my seeds or what I started, I do have a tea garden video that I posted back in February that I'll link down below. So when people think about tea gardening, they're probably thinking about the basics, like maybe some peppermint, some lemon balm, maybe some chamomile or even lavender, but there is so much more to tea gardening. You have so many options in brewing things like fruits, so you can add blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries. You can use the leaves of strawberries and raspberry plants. They're great bases for tea making. You can also use flowers like calendula, chamomile, bachelor's buttons. You can also use the flowers of things like anise hyssop. You can use the leaves, and there's so many options and so many blends that you can try that it's so exciting to tea garden because you are the master of your own brew, so you can create whatever combinations that you want, and it's fun to experiment as well. So I think the best place to start is my GreenStalk. Guys, look at how this GreenStalk has exploded. We planted this GreenStalk together a few months ago, and it's completely just packed to the brim with tons of plants. Now, I do have a lot of my tea herbs here. This is my main tea garden, and I do have a lot of culinary herbs here because when I'm cooking, I just like to run out here, grab what I need, and continue doing what I'm doing. I'm going to walk through exactly what I have here growing because there's some exciting things I want to share. We've started this entire GreenStalk from seed together, and I'm so excited to walk through it with you. So the first layer of my GreenStalk is primarily filled with veggies. I had Napa cabbage growing here in early spring, so I just popped in all of my veggies. So I have peppers here and some beans. So we're gonna skip the first layer because this is more of a vegetable garden layer, but it's the second layer in my GreenStalk that is where the tea garden starts. We're gonna start off with these strawberries. These are mignonette strawberries. They're an alpine strawberry variety. So the fruit are very tiny and they're just starting to come in. Take a look at this. So we started the strawberry seeds together back in February, and now they're finally gotten some size and the fruit is starting to come in. So it's exciting to see that. Now with tea brewing, I will actually pick some of the younger leaves. This acts as a great base. So when I start brewing teas, I think about building it in layers. So I start off with my base layer or my foundation. And for that, I usually use strawberry leaves or I'll use raspberry leaves. So I'll do 2 parts of my base. Then I'll add the layers, and you can add things like peppermint, or you can add lemon verbena, lemon balm. Maybe you can add fruit, maybe a strawberry, maybe oranges or lemons. So I always consider building my tea brews in layers, and I always start with a base of strawberry or raspberries. You don't have to use strawberry leaves or raspberry leaves as your base, but that's my personal preference. Now I have this beautiful smelling plant, and you might know this as holy basil or tulsi. Now for holy basil, you can brew with the leaves, or you can also brew with the flowers. And guys, this smells absolutely incredible. And I love the look how it cascades all the way down. And I have these plants repeated in a few spots, but oh my gosh, the smell. The smell is so good. It almost smells like anise hyssop. That's the way I can describe it, kind of a licorice type smell. This is great for brewing in teas, and so I have a lot of it. So I'll be cutting back this plant soon and then letting the blooms regrow. On to the next pocket. I have some thyme here, and I don't use thyme for tea making. I just use it for culinary purposes. And then over here in the next pocket is probably one of my favorite tea herbs, and that is anise hyssop. Just look at the blooms, guys. Look how gorgeous these blooms are. When I went to the seed exchange this year, there was a beekeeper there, and I asked him, give me 2 flowers that attract the bees to your yard. I cannot remember the first one he said, but it's not a plant that I recognize or grow actively. But the second one he said was anise hyssop. So if you want to bring all the bees to your yard, then you should be growing anise hyssop. For anise hyssop, you can harvest the leaves or you can harvest the blooms as well. Again, this tastes like licorice, but it's a really nice licorice flavor. I'm not a licorice fan, but honestly, this just, it tastes incredible. So I personally love adding anise hyssop to a lot of my tea brews just because of the flavor notes that it provides. It's just a really, really good addition to any tea. And guys, look here. I just saw this. This is a new plant from West Coast Seeds. This pepper is the, let me see, candy cane chocolate cherry, and it's a striped pepper, and I'm just starting to see the stripes here. Pretty cool. I have another anise hyssop plant here, and then over here I have some oregano, and that's the second layer. Okay, moving on to the third layer, I have some more oregano. And again, like I said, you're gonna see a lot of things repeat. We have the holy basil, we have some more strawberries again, some thyme. Layer 2 and layer 3 are basically a repeat. And then down to layer 4, I have some more culinary herbs. This is tarragon that we started from seed together. Over here we have some parsley, and then over here is another tea herb that we haven't seen yet. This is lemon balm. I absolutely love lemon balm. This is also a great base. It gives a lemon flavor, and there are a few herbs that we have in this GreenStalk that are lemony scented. So if you're going for something bright, a citrus tea, this is definitely one to add. On this layer, we also have some flowers, and this is also a tea herb. This is called calendula. Now, calendula has so many uses. It can be a trap crop for aphids. It can be used to make some salves. I've also made some salves with it in the past. You can also use it to brew tea. So if you have calendula, you might want to try using it for tea as well. And then down here on the last layer, we have some lemongrass. And this is also great for brewing tea. This is also great for cooking. If you do a lot of Asian cooking, this is what's used in a lot of dishes. Now, I don't cook with lemongrass, but it's great in tea and gives you kind of that citrusy lemon flavor along with lemon balm. Down on the bottom layer, I also have some sage, and I don't use a lot of sage. And the only time I really like using sage is on its own. I'll brew it as a cup of tea for my son if he has a cough. This is supposed to be good for sore throats. Those are the main herbs I have in my GreenStalk. These are things that I use on a regular basis in my tea brewing, so I like to have them on hand. I always like to go in and just clip what I need. And just to recap, I have lemon balm, I have anise hyssop, I have holy basil or tulsi, I have sage, I have lemongrass, calendula, strawberries, And if I forget one, just remind me. So while we're on this side of the deck, I thought we can pivot over here to my wall installation. Now, I love this. I picked this up at Home Depot probably like 5 years back. And it's great because if you don't have a lot of space, growing vertically is a lifesaver. You can go with a GreenStalk. I like this installation because I can tuck little small things in there. I would love a wall of this, and that way I have pockets that are growing vertically. Now here I have 2 specific tea herbs, pretty much just mint, and you'll see that I have a ton of mint around the garden, and it's a bit difficult because I have to stay on top of pruning it so it doesn't go to seed, and then I have mint all over my garden. But over here I have, what variety is this? Oh, down here I know we have peppermint, so we have spearmint at the top. Now I am growing, I want to say spearmint, peppermint, pineapple mint, orange mint, berries and cream mint, and menthol mint. So I'm growing 6 mint varieties. Crazy, I know, but I just like having different mint flavors, and I just like the different notes of orange or pineapple, or if I want a really punchy menthol mint is really nice. Menthol mint is actually new. I took a trip to Richter's Herbs this year, and it was eye-opening because there were so many tea herbs there. I just wanted it all, but I don't have space for it. I'll probably take another trip there at the end of the season. But when I went there, I found menthol mint seeds, and that is what I grew this year as well. I love this little pocket. And then over here, the last one, I have nasturtiums. I just love how nasturtiums cascade down. So I wanted a flower on the wall as well. This has been really nice to have. And then you can just pop out the pockets, put something new in. It's really awesome. I have one more tea herb to show you while I'm here. It's in a container and it's on the ground, but I'm going to pick it up because here we have ashwagandha. It's grown so tall. Now, this is my first year growing ashwagandha. I had no idea if this container was big enough to hold it. I had no idea the growth habit. I did no research. I just got some seeds from a friend and then decided to plant it, and look at it. I don't even know how to harvest it yet, but I'll figure it out. So the rest of my tea garden is in these 4 containers right beside me. Now, I told you I'm growing 6 different mint varieties, and the 4 remaining varieties are in these containers. Okay, so I want to start off with this container right here because this is one of the containers I used to grow my tea garden last year, and I've just continued using it. The first thing that we have is some more lemon balm. I found last year I didn't have enough lemon balm in the garden, so I've added some more spread throughout the garden, mainly in my GreenStalk and in this container. Beside it, I have some lavender, and lavender is great to add to teas, especially if you think of, we always think of chamomile as kind of that wind down tea. Lavender is also great for that as well. Now, we started this from seed, and I do need to cut this back. We also have some calendula here, and again, I do have calendula all around the garden. And then in the middle, we already have our lemon verbena flowering. Now, I love lemon verbena. I'm just going to give you a quick view of what the leaves look like. Now, I was not able to grow this one from seed, but I had to buy it as a transplant. Anywhere that I've gone for lemon verbena, I've had to take cuttings or get a transplant. Now let's take a look inside. So deeper inside, we have some more holy basil. I just trimmed this one back. And then in the middle, if we can find it, where is it? I think this is it right here. This is stevia, guys. This is the stevia I started from seed. It's still growing. I don't know how big it's going to get, but I started it and here it is. I don't know what it is with stevia. I had 2 different varieties of stevia that I started this year. I had candy stevia, which is supposed to be sweeter than regular stevia, and then regular stevia. I bought the seeds from Richter's, and I was so excited when it germinated. It was growing on really nice, and then it just died. No idea why. Then I started them again, and they died. I started it again, and then I finally had only one plant make it to the end, and I transplanted it into the garden and just, whatever happens, happens. That's kind of my idea with stevia right now because I've just given up on it. It is so difficult to grow, and trust me, I know how to grow it because I have an entire garden filled with things I've started from seed. But stevia, guys, stevia has just been so difficult to grow. I think the one tip I would give everyone if they're starting to grow stevia is put your seeds in the refrigerator, because when I went to Richter's, that's how they stored their seeds. And when I bought stevia seeds in the past, they weren't in the refrigerator. So that would be my one tip. If you're not getting germination, try that. Other than that, good luck to you. And the last thing we have here is chamomile, and I don't like when it gets to this stage. I like it when it's, I'm trying to find something that's a little bit like I like it when it's at this stage right here. I don't know if you can see that. That's what I'm holding. So I might just cut this back and then let it grow again, just because the plant is flopping as well. Just give it a good chop and let it regrow, because I think some of these are past their prime. I love growing chamomile and harvesting it. I think I have it in two places. I have it here, and I also have it on my GreenStalk over there. So I think I'll have enough chamomile for this season. And then over here, we have another mint plant. This one is menthol mint. On the other side, I do have another mint variety. I want to say this is peppermint. Let me find the tag. Yeah, oh no, this is spearmint. I think I only have one peppermint plant then. And then over here, we have our last herb container, and this one contains a lot of my fun mint varieties, starting off with pineapple mint. Look at that. The leaves are so furry, kind of like lamb's ear, and it smells like pineapple. It's not strong, but it has a hint of pineapple. Over here we have orange mint. And I just made a brew the other day with some orange mint and oranges, so I'm looking forward to pouring that and having a taste. And then over here we have a new mint variety to me. I'm not really liking how it's growing right now, but this is a berries and cream mint. I haven't tried brewing with it yet. Now last year, these containers I had to hand water, and this year I have everything on irrigation. Whew, and the relief I feel knowing that they're being automatically watered every day has been awesome. Trust me guys, get some irrigation in your garden because it will make your life so much easier. So we've gone through a lot of my containers, my GreenStalk, my wall installation, the containers underneath the umbrella. And now we have a few more things that we need to take a look at that are tucked in around the garden that I also use for brewing tea. We're going to start off down here. In this container, we have some ginger, and you can brew an amazing tea with ginger. Now I have ginger from last year stored in my freezer, and I just use it and shave a little bit of it and then use it in my tea. You can also use the stalks of the ginger and then also dehydrate that and make that into a great tea. This is so versatile to use, so definitely if you have ginger in your garden, try making some tea. The other container that I have in this area is a raspberry plant. Look at these raspberries coming in. It's pretty cool. Look at that. I think there's a whole bunch back here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So they're not ripe yet, but I cannot wait. Really what I'm coming in for are the leaves. So what I do is I look for some of the newer leaves like this, and I'll harvest all of these leaves, and then I'll just dehydrate it and store it in my containers in the cupboard. And again, I use it for the base of my tea brews. Okay, walking towards the raised bed garden, I have a blueberry plant, not doing so well, but I do have some blueberries that are coming in. They're just not ripe yet. You can also make a great tea blend with blueberries. You can pair it with lemon balm, lemon verbena for a blueberry lemon concoction. A great add to any tea. Now walking through, this is a current view of the raised bed garden. A lot of things happening right now, but we're not here to look at the veggies. We're here to look at more tea plants. So this last tea plant that we're going to look at, I didn't have a lot of space for because I just have so much going on in my garden right now. So I tucked it into the landscape for the very first time. I have two spots where I have this particular plant. Now, I didn't grow it last year. I grew it the year before, and it's definitely something that I'm looking forward to this season, but I'm not sure what's going to happen just because it's really slow to grow. So I'll turn the camera around and show you our last tea herb. It's not really a herb, it's more of a flower, and that is Zinger hibiscus. It's pretty tiny, tucked in here, and something's been eating at it, but I see new branches coming in, so I don't know if it's going to make it to the end. This puts out a beautiful hibiscus flower, and then it produces calyxes, and that is what we're harvesting. If we walk further into the garden by the fountain, I do have two more. One right here, I'm just gonna tuck in here. It's doing okay. And then another on the other side, which I can't even see. It's somewhere tucked in there. Let's see if we can find it. Oh, it's like right here. You can't even see it. It's so tiny. I don't know if it's gonna make it because it's being blocked, but maybe that one over there will make it. So as you can see, I have my tea garden pretty much spread through containers and also embedded in the garden this season. Last year I only had 2 containers, so this year I'm looking to stock up my cupboard with a lot of herbal blends. I hope this video was helpful as I walk around my tea garden and show exactly what I'm growing, how I'm growing it, and how much the garden has exploded in a very short amount of time. You can definitely build your own tea garden in as little as 1 container, 2 containers, or an entire garden full. So before you go, I wanted to let you know that I've launched a new series in my shorts called Snip and Sip. This is where I go through my garden and harvest some of my tea herbs and make a delicious cold brew drink. Now I'm going to be doing this throughout the entire summer, experimenting with new flavors and blends, so definitely check it out if you want to leverage more of your tea garden. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.